So we were discussing the 23rd Sutra, Ishvara Pranidhanadva. Remember where we left? When we say God, yes, correct. So when we say God, we think of a God living in seventh heaven, very far from us, in a special place where everything is special. Paradox. So here when we pronounce the word God, you remember that. Everybody remember, even whoever listen to this word, they just remember the God as a person, as an entity like us, with many extra qualities, full of good qualities. Nobody thinks there in God there is some bad qualities also. No, full of good qualities. Now, when we say that special entity is everywhere, that entity is looking after everything, that entity is omniscient, that entity is almighty with all the powers, it is very difficult to understand. Why our thought process is like that? We make a frame of something and try to understand that. So we made the frame of this when we think about God. That is why somebody believes in God and somebody does not. And if you believe or not, there is no difference in God. That the difference is in you. God doesn't care you believe or not. So this is the problem with us. Especially when we speak in English. As per my understanding, the speaker should be very careful with these words. Because when we say God, the English language understands God something else. But we are talking about the God something more different. In Sanskrit there are many words defining God. Like Devaha, a deity or God. Devi, goddesses, a female god. And then Bhagavan, there is a word for God. So Bhagavan is also God or Lord. Then there is another word, Devata, that is also deity or God. Now all this has different meanings, different purpose. But everywhere we use God, God, God. And this Ishvara is also called God. We add an adjective there, add an adjective that is supreme. Supreme God. Now, if one doesn't understand the correct meaning of God, if at all you put the adjective supreme, he is not going to understand. You cannot defend with this. The supremacy is within that. It is not beyond that. So what I understand, like if I understand who is a king, so he is a king, I know who is a king, the ruler of a country. If I say he is a great king, great emperor, so if I add the greatness there, then also it is just specifying his quality, that is all. He is ruling a big, vast kingdom. That is all. It can be emperor or great king or whatever. What I meant to say, the correct understanding of the basic word is necessary. So that is why we started to understand what is the concept of God in this philosophy. So we were thinking about the objects outside and how they are governed by who is governing them, the informations and so on. Now, what is our feeling is, if there is an institution, like here we have, this is an ashram. This ashram is managed by a person, the ashram manager, director, whoever may be. Now what he thinks, whatever happens in this ashram, I must know what is happening there, because I am the controller. Without my notice, nothing should happen here. That is the normal feeling, understanding. So one thinks like that. If something happened without his notice, he will be annoyed. He will scold you. And without asking me why you did it. How can you do that? And if you are in a house, your home, in your home also, somebody is looking after the home. So whatever happens there, he knows that. You are working in a company, in a job, there is a boss who he thinks, I know everything, what is happening. I must know everything. Being a boss, if he is not knowing what is happening in his office, he is not fit for a job of boss. He should be out of the post, because he does not know what is happening. Now you see, this is the situation. Now everywhere we put this. In family, husband and wife, they both things, both their idea, but their connection is, the husband thinks, I must know everything about my wife and family. And the wife thinks the same, I must know about everything about my husband and family. So if it's something is missing, then both feel bad. Everywhere it is like this. Now, I'm going to take the point from where you got this feeling that I must know everything what is happening here. How can you know? You know everything, you want to know everything, because being a controller, you want to know everything. Or being associated with office or family or the institution or ashram, you want to know everything. But really speaking, you are completely unfit to know everything. You cannot know everything. Okay. You have a body, physical body. Okay? So you want to know everything about family, you want to know everything about institution, you want to know everything about your factory, you want to know because you are controlling it. Now, you have a body, who is controlling it? Who is controlling it? Are you controlling or somebody else is controlling? Who is having this body? We are having this body. We are the controller of our body. Huh? So now, this body is with you for many, many years. And this body is with you for 24 hours. And you are maintaining the body. Body is maintained by you, and you are protected by body. So the mutual relation is there. Because you think I am in this body, I am protected. I have the enjoyment and experience. And you are feeding body and maintaining body, so body is also protected. Now that is not the point. The point is, you want to know everything about outside things, but whatever your body, what you know about your body. If you are the controller, you are the ruler of your body, enjoyer of your body, you must know it. You know, when you smile, 14 muscles together works for smiling, just smiling. 14 muscles. Are you aware about that? No. No. When you speak, now you are not speaking, I am speaking. So, 72 muscles are working to just pronounce one word. We are not aware about that, what is happening. And when you walk, more than 200 muscles are coordinated and they are working together. Then you have the movement of walking. Are you aware about that? No. So then how you are the ruler? You want to know you are a ruler, you are controlling the body, these many things are happening, you don't know that. And another interesting things, because I want to bring you to the reality, what is happening. You are just imagining something to happen, but here is something happening in another way, opposite way. In your stomach, intestine, there are 100 trillion bacteria. 100 trillion bacteria means you just imagine. I cannot say in lakhs. This is so much. So we are not aware about this thing. It is all there. Now, again, this body produces tremendous energy. Somebody did a research on this. He found out this body mass contains as much as energy a nuclear power plant can produce in 90 years. 90. This body mass, you don't believe in this. It is very, very difficult. It was difficult for me also to believe. So he produced the proof. You can find out in the net. He said, this body mass contains, because body can produce so much energy, not once. It is all life. One nuclear power plant if you use nuclear power plant to produce this much energy, it takes 90 years to produce. So much energy is produced here. And we are not aware about that. We are just using and wasting the energy. And if I take one by one, because why I brought this, you are all yogis. The morning I thought how to put this point. Then I contemplated on that. Then I found it is easy if I take the body, because all yogi practitioners, they know the anatomy and physiology. So they will be much familiar with to understand. And we are practicing yoga to maintain our body without knowing these things. And we are trying to control our mind and senses without knowing this. Now, who knows this? Who is doing all these things? You have to think over it. You breathe. You know how much you breathe in a day? How many times? 21,600 times a day you breathe. 21,600 is not a small number. So like you counted the thoughts, I told you to count the thoughts. The same thing you can do. Sit one day and count how many times you are taking this breath. So this is perfectly correct. It may be go here and there as you concentrate more, take more, or it may change. Like 50 to 100 it can change. Not more than 100, less than 100 it can change. But normally it is 21,600 times you take. And you are not aware about that. In another case, you know how your life is maintained? What is your life is all about? Life is all about this breath. The oxygen you take, inhale and exhale. When you get up in the morning, what you think? You think about the actions to be done, the future actions. You go for that. And you go for prayers. You go for asanas. But you never recognized, respected this breath. This is most essential for you. Because when you are sleeping, you are completely unconscious. Your body was maintained by this prana. You see how much loving it is. We never gave a thank you or a respect to it. This is our awareness. This is why we are far away from ourselves. We are not connecting ourselves with these things. Nobody thought about it. Without food, without water, you can stay 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 5 days. Or if you have more energy, then 15 days maximum with water you can stay. But without breathe, you cannot stay even for a minute or so. So this is happening without your notice. That is what I want to bring you into notice. This is happening without your notice. Now you just think, who is doing all these things? Who is controlling all these things? If you are not aware about these things, somebody is doing that. Something is happening without your notice. Somebody is there to do this. And there are more. How you just think about one by one. When you eat food, what happened after that? It goes to the stomach, you don't know what is happening. And the energy is produced there. That how it produces, you don't know. Constantly this is happening there. And blood circulations and heart. Heart is a special organ in our body. Who made it, we don't know. We are searching for him who made it. But he made it everything very correctly. He is a great, great engineer. He knows what to make, how to make. He made this heart very special. This is one of the organ in our body that works from birth to death non-stop. There is no other organ like this. Brain also takes rest. When we sleep, brain gets rest. But heart never. Non-stop working instrument. It pumps 7,000 liters of blood every day. So, now you must have understood why you have to surrender. Because we started from the point Ishvara Pranidhanadva. You understood? This is the point you have to understand. Now, you are thinking about, you have a problem with surrendering, you don't want to surrender. You ask, what is God, where is He, what He does? Why should I surrender? I am such a person, I have a personality, I have my, entity, my feeling, my emotions. I don't want to surrender. That is why I said, you surrender or not, it doesn't make any difference. But you just think about this, you know why should you surrender. Because I told you, Here the surrender is something different. The Patanjali wants to wants to take you up to the samadhi level from this surrender. We started discussing how can we surrender the fruits of karma. From there we started. And now you just recollect and connect what we discussed. Now here, if you know these things are happening with us, this is very essential for us. Without that we cannot live. Our life is with this. Now that is something we understand in this stage. If you think about your physical body itself, who gave you this body? Who made this? Parents? You may answer, parents gave us this body. Father and mother. You ask them, are you gave this body to me? They say no. We cannot give. We are only produced. We are responsible for that. That's all. You got the body from somewhere else. We don't know. So this is truth. So your body is not made by you. Your body is not made by your parents. Then who gave you the body? Okay, you say your parents give us, we can find some answer in biology. Okay, there is some process, they got it and they gave it. Then who gave you the mind? The intellect. The qualities you have. Those qualities are differing from your parents' qualities. It is totally different. Different qualities. And some of your qualities the parents do not like. They say you are wrong with this. So it means they never gave these qualities. They are not responsible then. Like who gave these qualities? Good qualities or bad qualities? Qualities in general. So the answer, the science or whoever think about this, the rational thinking, they give the answer, nature gave everything. It is natural, quite natural. Now what is natural? If it is natural, everything is natural. Why you are searching for the answer? Why you are searching for the cause? They say in one side, they say everything is natural, and they themselves are searching for the cause also. They are doing research for many, many years to find out the cause. If it is natural, why you are doing research for the cause? It means they also know it is not natural. There is some cause. There is something that we don't know. We have to find out. With this aim, all these big institutions in the world, they are in research. Now here you get the answer. Because like the morning section we discussed, this body has information about its growth. Somebody asked Darwin, what is life? You know what is the definition he gave for life? No. Beautiful definition he gave. He said, The struggle for existence is life. That is the definition of Darwin, who is a revolutionary of his time. In 1859, Darwin wrote The Origin of Species. So after that, the revolution happened. Even today, biology and all other subjects are based on this. Now it is little bit changed, but even then, the basic theories is Darwin theories. Now neobiology and new cell biology, everything came. So he said, the struggle for existence is life. And then he added more into that. Struggle for protection. Struggle for growth. These three are life. Struggle for growth, struggle for protection, struggle for existence. You cannot give any other answer. Now, if we see inside, when we see our minds, we are struggling for existence. That is true. But not only that, there is something else. We are struggling for existence, that is true. But not only struggling for existence, we are struggling for something else. That is also a part of life. That is what we know as happiness, we know as knowledge. So we are struggling for this also. And now, when we think this way, we know very little about our body. The existence of body, the maintenance of body, the growth of body. What Darwin said, we are completely unaware about this. We only know how to eat, how to sleep, and how to do actions, how to work. Only 3-4 things we know. So, if you are struggling for existence, you don't know what is your existence is. If you are struggling for growth, you don't know what is your growth is. If struggling for protection, you don't know what is protection is. So how you are struggling for that? That itself makes a question. If you don't know how you are struggling for that, it means somebody else knows that. Somebody else knows that. So with that knowledge, we are struggling. Now we just take to that realm what they think about. They say, now in psychology, they say the subconscious mind is doing everything. We don't know what is subconscious mind, but subconscious mind is maintaining the body. The subconscious mind is struggling for existence, struggling for growth, struggling for protection. Everything is done by subconscious mind. That is what they say. Their answer is that. And subconscious mind is also a mind only. That is also an instrument. It can be modified, changed. And in psychology, this psycho means their answer of psycho. What is psycho? Psycho means self. So they consider this subconscious mind, the subtle level of subconscious mind, as self. That is what they mean by it. It's totally went wrong. Now they are trying to connect mind and body, this subconscious mind and body and everything. So they they are struggling to connect with. So here, again, we have to surrender. We don't know why it is happening. So why this existence, why this protection, why all these functions are taken care? Can only subconscious mind do all these things? No, it is not possible. Because the subconscious mind's existence is not clearly proved even now. Just take just 2 levels and just try to prove that, that's all. But there is no proof for that, no experience of that, direct experience. The proofs they gave is all imaginary, assumed. Nothing is real. So, when they go for answer, they go to biology to find out. So then there is a thing called DNA. You know DNA. They say everything is informed in DNA. The information is there in DNA. DNA is a deoxyribonucleic acid. It is an acid. It's an element of, it is an insentient element. So how can this acid form as a information? How can it work like that? If an acid can work with information, why not this stone? Why not this water? So why only this particular acid is working like that? They have no answer. When they did research in cells, in cell biology, they found out 20,000 of genes. Genes means disease. Genes, that the name means information, which has information. So the information in DNA is called genes. So now they answer it directly. Whatever your body knows, whatever the action is happening in body, reaction is happening, whatever happening, is because of this DNA, these genes. This is the answer. Now, if you just use common sense, then you will understand it is just a medium. DNA is also a medium. In each cell there is information, and each cell act accordingly, according to the situation. It changes. When Darwin wrote The Origin of Species, he never invented this DNA theory there. He just mentioned that DNA invented by somebody else. But that idea was there. He said it cannot be changed. It will be continued to birth the generation after generation. It cannot be changed. That was the conviction of Darwin. When he wrote his first book, that famous book, in 1859. But he did more research on that. Then, before passing away at 1876, he wrote a letter to his friend. Then he wrote, "You see, when I was writing this book, I was not very much aware about the environment connection with the body changes. But now I got much proof, enough proof for that there is a connection with the environment and body. So he wrote to him. Then after that it changed. Now we were talking about the connection between outside and inside, the body and the environment. In the morning we were talking about that. Now you connect this there. So DNA also changes. Every cell changes. The mind changes. Intellect changes. Everything changes. Now what is not changing is the self. What is not changing is the consciousness. Now the environment has some connection with the body. That the connection is because of electromagnetic fields. That is another subject. That is why we have connection. We feel sometimes when we enter to a place, we feel something. We feel a good energy, a bad energy, or something we feel. There is a feeling beyond mind, beyond understanding. So how it happens? Because of the energy there. When you eat food, when you drink water, you have some feeling. So according to the environment, the body changes itself. The mind also changes. Your mood changes. This way, the changes happens in your body system, and it goes to your DNA, and the cells changes, and everything changes. So this is everything happening without your notice. Now we are conscious. We have consciousness, and we don't know what is happening. That is why we have to accept a consciousness which is cosmic. We have to accept something that which controls each cells of our body, each object of the creation with atoms or molecules or whatever you say. There are so much to say how it happens. It is happening there. Here in the cells it is happening, there in the molecules it is happening. The tree is getting the same energy, and tree is also taking the energy from sunlight and from earth nutrition, all those things. And we are also doing the same. So there is a connection. That connection, if we can say in both ways, physically also it is there, and in spiritual level also it is there. So this connection, when you understand, you will feel a complete surrender towards this almighty consciousness, or whatever you say, cosmic consciousness or universal consciousness or all-pervading consciousness. So whatever you say, it is there. It is communicating. The theory of relativity also says there is relation with each other. In our Upanishads, Brihadaranyaka Upanishads clearly define this theory. All are interconnected. This creation outside and inside. So you don't know outside what is happening. The same way you don't know what is happening inside you. You know only very little. So behind this, there is something that is guiding us. That is why I gave on the morning section about outside, and this section taking the body. So just to imagine, just to think about that. Without our awareness is also many things are happening in this body. And we are trying to get that awareness back. We want to know our body more, mind more. We don't know something happening in our mind. We are unable to control. You are driving a car, you don't know what is happening. You are unable to stop it or accelerate it. Then what will be the result? So that is what is happening here. So in both sides, in both ways, when you think, we have to accept something like this as a almighty entity. That is we call as Ishvara. It is named after ruling Ishvara. Ishvara means ruler, the great ruler, great controller. So we stop here for today. So you can think about this and try to experience, because in short time we just applied our mind into this process. So I just convey some ideas. Now you put together and contemplate on them. Then you will understand what Ishvara means. So after this, these sutras are very easy. You know that their only word meaning is necessary. Purnamadaha Purnamudaya Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti.